A very warm welcome to you watching this agricultural show that focuses particularly on livestock. And what a great place to start. We're right here in front of the CBD that holds some of the very important offices and headquarters in the livestock industry. And remember, it is only on this show that we endeavor to connect our farmers here in Zimbabwe with the various stakeholders in their industry, be it vets, government departments, animal feed manufacturers, captains in this industry, and bankers as well, into a dialogue. Why? Because this dialogue is so important for the growth of this industry in this nation. Today we are focusing on a very small sector that has enormous potential. For decades people have used it and it has operated alongside households, kumamisha, but only on a subsistence basis. But lately people have begun to engage into it on a more commercial basis. So I won't go too much into it yet because I want the story to unravel itself.
As the nation of Zimbabwe slowly moves, reclaiming its breadbasket status, one outstanding sector that is taking the livestock industry by storm is goat rearing. Not so long ago, goat rearing was never considered commercial. Many families only reserved it as a subsistent project. The carcass of that small animal, a Mashona goat, hovers between 9 to 12 kgs. One can, however, get up to 16 kgs from the Matebele goat, and these are usually found in the Matebeleland province and in some parts of the Midlands. Cash price for these indigenous breeds is usually anything between $20 to $60 US, depending on the area and a number of factors. In many areas around Zimbabwe, goats were just considered as basic tools for cultural activities. In many instances, they would be killed for consumption or ritual purposes. Apart from that, with the unusual hot and dry weather beating down on Zimbabwe, climate change and the accompanying drought have cost farmers much of their cattle heads. In response, it can only be wise to seriously consider goats to preserve livestock assets. With the burgeoning numbers of urban goat meat consumers, much still has to be done to ensure that goat meat is readily available on the market. Currently, a lot of butcheries are running short on this meat. What could be the reason?
Dambudziko tiri kuita kuti nyama ishomeke kumabhucha inyaya yekuti price yavanenge vachida kutipa isusu neprice yatenga takatenga nadzo mbudzi tichikumbira kuti dai yanga yatiwedzerei, because zvese izvozvo beef, goat meat yese inyama. Saka even maconsumers edu ngaanyatsodzvinzwisisa kuti both of it it's natural meat. Tinenge tichida kuti dai yanga yawedzerwawo nekuti mbudzi dzatenge tinadzo ene zvakunetsa. Mafarmers atiri kunyanya kuwana izvozvizvi anobuditsa mbudzi dzinenge dziri ma-average sizes. Saka ma-average sizes nemaprice ataita tenga per kg anenge achiita achivaremerawo even vemabhucharies kuti vawane profit.
But why is it so? Where exactly is the glitch? Does it lay with the farmers, the middlemen, the abattoirs, or the butcheries?
Vari patinotora mbudzi havasi kutora sebusiness, asi vari kungotiwo chinhu chinongondibatsirawo ndikawana dambudziko. havasati vakunyatsodzitora vachiti mbudzi dzinofanira kunge dzichirimwa, nekuti unoona mumwe munhu aine mbudzi 5 mudanga. Saka varimi ava havasati vakunyatsokuona kuti mbudzi idzi ritori basa rinofanira kunge richitoitwa kuti munhu kana vapfuya mbudzi unokwanisa kuzowana pahombe.
Currently, the population of goats stands at about 3.3 to 3.4 million in Zimbabwe, with about 97% of this population in the hands of smallhold farmers who haven't started breeding these goats for commercial purposes, according to the Department of Agricultural Research and Extension Services.
As you can see, we're still hanging out in the CBD, Harare, the capital city of Zimbabwe, the city that never sleeps, and it all starts right here. So in the next few episodes, you're going to see us going all over Zimbabwe, going to the farms, going Kumamisha, seeing what all the livestock farmers are up to. But now, after seeing that video, I must say that I'm a little hungry, but I'm so excited about the growth of this industry sector because I love goat meat, and I know a lot of you at home will agree with me. But now I know a lot of you are now wondering, what does it take to be a goat farmer and how do I start? So we managed to get hold of a new small-scale farmer who has started small but has a very big vision. Let's hear what she had to say.
I started this project in 2013. I started off with 3 goats after realizing that there was so much land, idle land here. So I started off with 3 goats, and then I bought some more to make them to reach a number of 9. And at 9 I stopped buying. I started breeding. It hasn't been good, because this is region 3 of the ecological range. The climate and the season, when the season changes, when it goes to the rainy season, goats are not so good when it is raining. They don't do well. They get affected by so much diseases, diseases like foot rot. You can see there's a lot of grass here. They get bitten by ticks in between the foot, and the infant mortality was also high because I wasn't experienced. I didn't know how to care for the young kids. So I had to do quite a lot of research, interact with other farmers, and get knowledge on how to do it. Then when it is during the dry season, there's no water around here. I had to drill a borehole and taking the goats to the dam. The dam is some 3.5 kilometers from here. So to take the goats there, with cattle it's easy because cattle can travel for long distances. But with the goats and with the kids, the little kids traveling there to get some water, it was quite a challenge. I think with goats, it all comes to the passion first. You have to be in it. You have to know what you want to do. And you have to know that what you are doing is like business. I realized I was in business when I first when I sold my first lot. That is August 2017. I sold 13 of them and got something like $500. So I realized, oh, it's happening. I paid my daughter's school fees out of that. And this season again, I sold around 20. I did the same, paid my daughter's fees. So when given the other chance to do it, I will really want to look at the knowledge that I have, utilize the knowledge that I have. In the next 2 years, I want to expand my project. I want to improve my breed. This is still mixed. I want to have a number up to 500 in the next 2 years. Maybe in the next 5 years, I'll go up to 1,000. I want to utilize all this fenced area to breed the goats. I want to separate the paddocks so that I have ewes on their own, the he's on their own, the kids on their own. As you can see now, because of security, the crow is too much close to the home. I want to prove on that, and I have one. They are still in the same crow, except for the kids, which we separate when they are still young, so that they are not stemmed on by the older ones. That is where I see. I also want to, if there is a room, to influence other farmers so that we have an association of our own, not for the Boer goats, but even our mixed breeds, so that we also influence the marketing fraternity, so that besides having the Cold Storage Commission supporting the beef farmers, we have COCOM supporting the pork farmers, we also have our own abattoir that we sell. We take our goats for selling. Last year there was so much talk about the abattoir which was about to be constructed to sell the donkey meat. And why not the goat meat? The government, at this point in time, they are talking of command farming. And I'm thinking command farming should not only be supported to people who want to do the cattle production. I think we also have to get that support as goat farmers. That they should be available for us to support us, and also not in terms of identification, but they're also humans with their own lives, with their other business and other people who are waiting for them. We need some sort of training, especially on types of diseases and how to cure them. I also experienced a disease called OFF. OFF is a disease that affects, in particular, the mouth. There are some scabies like around the mouth, around the genitals, and it can go all over the body. So it affected at one time. I lost 16 of the goats because of that disease.
Wow, so I'm very excited that women are actually taking a stand and carrying the mantle in this type of farming, which would normally be for men. So kudos to you, Margaret. But like so many other small farmers in this sector, Margaret bemoans the fact that there are not very much proper structures in place. So she's had to do a lot of things by herself, making a lot of mistakes along the way because of lack of counsel. And this has even caused an incident that she has spoken about of when she lost 16 goats to death. We then managed to talk to a farming official who's in the Ministry of Agriculture to see how he can actually help people like Margaret.
It's true that there are no proper structures. When you look at cattle, we have got the Cattle Producers Association and so on, or we have got the Tuli Cattle Society, the Ngoni Cattle Society. Those are the structures which assist farmers in the raising of high-grade animals. But with goats, from my own experience or mind, what I gather, there are only 2 associations. One is for Boer goat rearing, and the other one is just a goat association, which is still canvassing for membership. I believe through these structures, especially for the indigenous goat producers, that's where these structures are lacking. I hope the second goat association will try to embrace everyone to come on board, and then from there we'll take it up. Through those structures, farmers would get information how to raise their animals for marketing and where to market. And I've always said the market for goats will always be there as long as supply is consistent. Currently now, if an abattoir says, can we have 30 goats per month, they won't get them. Maybe for the first 2 months, then the other months there is no supply. Why? Because it's lack of planning on the farmer's side. And we should take advantage of goat rearing, because if we take, for instance, raising a goat kid from the time of birth up to 12 months or a year, it should be very easy. I know the first 3 months in the life of a kid are so demanding. The little one wants milk and all that, water, shelter. If all those things are sorted out, there won't be a problem. And I understand that farmers still have no know-how on the upkeep of these animals. People are used of keeping goats in an open kraal. They will lock those animals in up to 12 noon, then they release them. Imagine a goat needs to graze for 8 hours, but you release it at 12, 4 o'clock is supposed to be back in the kraal. So the performance there is limited. Yeah. These are some of the things I wish farmers could be taught through the associations. The other advantage is we have 4 livestock stations in the country, which I believe are strategically located. You've got one in Masvingo, one outside Bulawayo, one around Mazoe, and one in Marondel. You check Marondel and Mazoe, high rainfall areas. Masvingo and Bulawayo, low rainfall area, and that's where you find a lot of goats. And the information is there at those institutes, and these institutes are at the doorsteps of the farmers. Yes, farmers will complain of distance and all that, but our staff are prepared to go anywhere to teach farmers how to farm goats. And we have got a sister department, livestock production and development. Also, they assist in training farmers. Farmers might complain they don't have the knowledge. We understand, yes. It might be a constraint of our staff to move to places far away from the cities, and mobility is very critical. In other countries, farmers themselves come and collect experts and they go with them to teach. If we Zimbabweans, for the time being, we could also assist our livestock specialists to be carried around by farmers to go and train, it will be faster. Yes, we are prepared to train farmers at our research institutes, sometimes at no cost, depending on the availability and duration of the course. Goats and cattle, they play the same role in the livestock industry and in our livelihoods. They provide milk, they provide meat. The scenario currently at the moment is that goats don't contribute much as we would have expected to the livestock industry. This could be due to constraints in marketing. People don't know what type of animal to market or where should they market. There are companies, or I'll call them abattoirs, who would like to get involved and support the farmers, but they say they are not getting enough of those goats.
It is only befitting that we end this segment of our show with remarks from the Minister of Agriculture, who's also heading the Command Livestock Program.
Today's proceedings have given me some tiny glimpse into what PPP can do in terms of turning around the economy. The prospects of revitalizing the livestock, fisheries, and the wildlife production is quite exciting. I am very much encouraged by the spirit of cooperation which was exhibited, especially by the private sector. And the more I have been involved with command farming, the more I have come to realize that as a people and as government and the private sector, we have the capacity to stage an economic miracle in this country. On the part of the farmers, I would like to encourage you to take farming as a business, to seriously take farming as a business, and also realize that command agriculture and command farming is all about cost recovery. If you want to remain in this program, you have to respect your part of the bargain.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's meet right here next week at the same time. My name is Rebecca Manford. Pleasant viewing to you.